for peace, let there be love. I am a stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Thank you, Sky. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to one of our many Christmas services today. We are meeting on Zoom and live streaming to Facebook. So you are all a virtual congregation today. And we are going to open our service with the daily word as we acknowledge that this is the third week of Advent. And the third week is the week that celebrates the divine quality of love. And the word for today is love. I answer the call to love, embracing the world. Love is both a noun and a verb. More than just a feeling, it is one of the highest intentions I can hold and one of the most sacred actions I can take. Love is the name and nature of God, the pulsation of oneness from the center of my heart to the farthest reaches of earthly experience. On this third Sunday of Advent, love is also a call to action, an invitation to perceive the world through the Christ presence and live as the love I am. I open my heart and let my love flow forth as kindness, gentleness, and compassion. I stay grounded in the presence of God through my prayers, and I radiate love through my kind words and actions. I trust my loving impulses will reach far and wide. The light and joy I send forth grow and expand to encompass all things. Our scripture today is 1 John 3:18. Little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action. And the word for today is love. And now Sky is going to lead us in singing the Christmas song.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up as Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe helps to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa is on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to
Thank you. Thank you, Sky. We welcome Sky today as our guest musician, and he has come to play for us many times in the past. He has also served as a guest speaker. He is a man of many talents.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
You are so welcome. I wanted to start with some questions about your personal life because we never find out like where you live and about your family life and
Well,
your.
it's good to see so many familiar faces. Hi, Brian. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Mariana. Hi, Audrey, Kim, Jenny, Melinda.
So, where do you live?
I live in the East Bay in the San Francisco Bay Area near Berkeley in a town called El Cerrito. And I grew up in a town called Point Reyes, which is on the coast.
Yeah.
And I was actually born out there at the youth hostel, which is in the wilderness, really, on Limantour Beach. My parents were the caretakers of the land at the time, and they had me while they were living there. So I feel a very special connection to the land out here. There's a native coastal Miwok village right near there. I've spent a lot of time on the land walking and praying and enjoying the ocean.
So I'm skipping ahead a little bit. We'll come back to your family, but I noticed in the bio that you have on Amazon that you started studying yoga when you were 5 years old, less than 5 years old. Is that because you were born and raised in a youth hostel?
Well, I wasn't raised there. I was born there, and then my parents separated after about a year. And my mom married a man, my stepfather, who's still in my life, and we're very close. And he was a follower of Swami Satchidananda. And Satchidananda is a teacher from India originally, who came to the United States and taught. Mendocino is a beautiful spot too, Brian. Yeah, it's very similar native area, native vibe with the ocean. And Satchidananda taught integral yoga, which is really a broad connective teaching around all the spiritual religious disciplines around the world, and how yoga is not just physical yoga. Like, I didn't really do a whole lot of physical yoga when I was a kid because, my body didn't need it really. I was just running around and playing soccer and stuff. But there's a lot of other aspects to yoga: Raja yoga and Jnana yoga, devotion to your craft or to some cause or to some person. Raja yoga, the mental aspect of clarifying your thoughts. So that was what I was really exposed to as a young kid, and spent time in the ashram in both Virginia and San Francisco.
And that led you into studying physics?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the connection. I definitely can see the connection. You then went on to get a master's degree in physics with a thesis in string theory. And
yeah, all connected for me because the path with yoga for me was one of trying to understand the causes and effects in life, right? So a lot of stuff happens to us that feels like we just don't know why it happens. And I always felt like there was some underlying, from the teachings of Vedanta and yoga, that there's some underlying karma or some underlying cause that is not physical, but is spiritual or mental or purposeful is really the word that I'm looking for. And so the physics is the study of space, the study of time. And so that was a way to understand why things happen in space and time, not just the physical laws of relativity, but how does synchronicity show up in my life? How does the right person happen to come across my path at the right time? How does the world respond to the choices I make, and how do those choices lead me down a meaningful path? I was very passionate about finding joy and peace in myself, and one way to do that was to look for the laws of physics.
Super. Okay, so then I just mentioned that I got your bio off of Amazon. It's a wonderful bio too. And well, you've had a very interesting life, but you had 2 books for sale. Have you written 2 or more?
Yeah, I'm working on my 3rd book. There you go, Brian. Thank you. Living in Flow. So my first book came out, I actually wrote this book. I wrote a book in 2011 because I felt like I had something to talk about. I had been studying synchronicity, experiencing a lot of synchronicity. And one of the reasons I continue to do music in my life, because it brings me present in my body into synchronicity in a way that just reading and studying doesn't. So, singing Christmas carols, I was at a party last night and we just spontaneously started singing Christmas carols like the ones we just sang today. And it just feels so connective and alive for me to do that, and challenging, brings me out of my comfort zone. So Living in Flow is a book that started many years ago, but I had something to say about how do we live at the edge of the comfort zone in a space of love, which is the word of the day.
Yes. And then your next book, what's the name of it?
That's called Leap to Wholeness.
Leap to Wholeness, yeah.
And the research I do, if you want to understand the physics, why science of space and time really matters, it's because we live in a world view which sees the world, everything is separate. We can divide up atoms into, we can divide up every substance, like this microphone here, into atoms, and those atoms can be subdivided into subatomic particles. Everything can be separated and understood. But there are some things in the world, some ways of looking at the world, where you can't separate things to understand them. You have to look at them as a whole. And so what I study in my physics work is the science of wholeness. The wholeness of space and time, the wholeness of who we are, the wholeness of the synchronicity, is when somebody shows up in your life at the right moment. Well, they're part of the whole for you. They're not coming from outside you, but they're part of you to begin with. And you're just coming together as part of that whole. Okay. So the science of wholeness, I think, is really an important place for us to focus for the next 100 years.
All right, now I think we have time for one more question. We always ask our guests what their path was to get to unity. And so how did you end up with us here today?
Well, around that same time in 2011, I was looking for chances to play music in a more meaningful way. I've been playing in bars and clubs and things like that with my band. And I found through synchronicity, I looked, I think on the internet, or maybe somebody told me, I got a call out of the blue on my voicemail from a woman named Reverend Mary Murray Shelton. And she had a center called Global Heart Center for Spiritual Living, that I'd never heard of. But I had been focused on Unity of Santa Rosa and Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa at the time, because I lived there. And I got this call out of the blue from a different center, which is also a New Thought Center, similar focus of philosophy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for, a chance to be the music director and play music every week and lead the songs and everything for a center of spiritual path. And so I got involved as a music director for a couple of years with this Global Heart. And then I started playing Unity of Santa Rosa, Unity of Walnut Creek. I found Unity of Citrus Heights. And I play Unity and Center for Spiritual Living all around. I just did Baltimore virtually a couple weeks ago. So I love the community. It's just been really a part of my life.
Well, we are always glad to have you, and we thank you for being so supportive. And there have been times when you did the music and the talk. So Sky, thank you for all that you add to our spiritual community.
Thank you for including me in your community. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And will you lead us now in singing Angels We Have Heard on High?
Yeah, and in your rooms there, go ahead and sing along. This is a great song to sing to. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? why your joyous strains prolong. Say what may the tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Thank you, Sky. And so now we take a moment to bless our prayer requests. You may know that if you join us at the Sylvan Community Center, there is a prayer box in the lobby and slips that you can fill out to request prayer or a call from a prayer chaplain. And if we're not at the Sylvan that week, you can send us an email at info@unitycitrusheights.org. And know that Unity was founded on prayer, and that in Unity Village for about 125 years, the prayer at Silent Unity has been continuous. So feel free to use the information on your screen to contact them by phone or online, or the You Pray app, which has come to be my favorite, or you can actually mail them and they will send you a prayer in response. We are blessed to have them. We're blessed to have the Unity movement. And at this time, we take our prayer requests, both the ones that we have shared and those that we just hold silently in our hearts. And we envision all of us surrounded by love, peace, and safety. We behold the divine identity we share, the spirit that connects us and joins our hearts as one. We are beings of light, and we shine the light of hope and understanding. We bless the world with a dazzling spectrum of gifts. Each of us is an integral part of the world's goodness. This is our prayer for ourselves and for each other. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is.
And so now let us prepare for a time of meditation. I'm going to leave this up just for a moment so you can see the pretty picture. And then I'll take it down. There we are. So breathe and become comfortable. And allow yourself to be basked in the true spirit of Christmas. The spirit that has nothing to do with the trees or the decorations. The spirit of Christmas that is a yearly reminder of the truth of who you are. And we move into this meditation, resting in the knowing that all is well. All is well in our hearts, in our souls, and in our world. We affirm that God's divine order flows in and through every object, every circumstance, and each person. So relax your body and allow the energy of God, the energy of the stars, of the heavens to flow over you now, soothing and healing you in body and mind. Consider the energy of the wind. Invisible and powerful, it shapes rocks and streams and carries fire and rain. Though we cannot see it, we can hear it, and we can trace its path as it barrels down the valleys and through the canyons and out to sea. The energy of our sun floods the earth with light during the day and bounces off the moon and planets to help light our nights. Other energies, mainly unperceived except by mystics and artists and dreamers, flow through our life stream from yet undiscovered sources. They bring with them ideas and moods and the nearly undetectable scent of faraway galaxies and dimensions. Rest for a moment in the grand movement and sacred purpose of the energies of creation. Feel them caressing your cheeks and brushing away stale thoughts and outgrown beliefs. Picture yourself being cradled through the universe on the tides of space and carried in the peace of God's breath as we share some time in this silence. For both the visible and the invisible worlds, Creator, we thank Thee. We ask for more clarity of perception and a deeper understanding of this world that we share as we move through this joyous season, now and forevermore. Amen. Now Sky is going to sing for us.
Yes, I'm gonna say yes. I don't know where we're going, but I trust this. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. Abundantly, I know that we will manifest. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. I don't know where we're going, but I trust this. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. Abundantly, I know that we will manifest. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. I don't know where we're going, but I trust this. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. Abundantly, I know that we will manifest. Yes, sing with me. I'm gonna say yes. I don't know where we're going, Abundantly, I know that we will manifest. Abundantly, I know that we will manifest. Abundantly, I know that we will and will manifest. Yes.
Thank you, Sky. Thank you. The true message of Christmas, and the one that unity persists in teaching, is that the Christ abides within you. We mentioned that we are in the time of Advent earlier, and that word Advent means coming. In traditional Christianity, Advent was not only observed in the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas, but it could also refer to the second coming of Jesus. Unity interprets the second coming not as Jesus being born as a human again, but as the birth of Christ consciousness within each of us. And when we say the birth of Christ consciousness, it means we become conscious of the Christ that is within us, not that anything is coming into us. It's already there. To achieve Christ consciousness is to recognize what you already are. Deepak Chopra wrote a book called The Third Jesus. And in the framework he used in the book, Christ consciousness that we're talking about today might be considered the fourth Jesus. So let's give a brief definition of the first, second, and third Jesus. The first Jesus is the historical one, and we know next to nothing about him. All the good work and research of the Jesus Seminar and other organizations have concluded that yes, a man was born in Bethlehem and was crucified in Jerusalem, and that very little of the story in between can be documented. Now, the second Jesus is the one created by Christianity, created to fulfill the agenda of the church. This is the one we've heard the most about, but there's little historical evidence to support what we've been told. The third Jesus, and the one that Chopra was writing about, is as yet so unknown that most Christians don't suspect he exists. He taught his followers how to reach God consciousness, same thing as Christ consciousness, God consciousness. He lived at the highest level of enlightenment. He left a map in his teachings in the scriptures for us to follow into God consciousness. And the fourth Jesus is the Christ within. The birth of Christ consciousness within the human is also sometimes called ascended consciousness, or the second coming. This is how Christ will come into the world when we become aware that it is already here. There are ancient techniques for the transformation of consciousness. Though they were not developed by Unity, Unity has been teaching them for over 100 years, steadfastly declaring the truth through many changes in social thought and trends in spirituality. So let us discuss some of these ideas. Many of them are based on do not worry about tomorrow. We were taught that in the Bible when we heard about the lilies of the field. We were taught that by contemporary gurus who said, be here now. We were taught that time is an illusion, that everything is the eternal now. We were taught that in the Lord's Prayer, when it said, provide us this day our daily bread. It does not say, send us a signed contract for lifelong support. Live in the present. And these ideas are more than just faith. They are beliefs about the nature of reality. And they seem to be Jesus' most radical injunctions. And somehow they became the least followed. These teachings don't seem viable in ordinary consciousness. Yet if you apply them on the spiritual path, asking for change beyond the ordinary, something new begins to emerge. A random, mindless universe is transformed into a safe haven, a home for every person filled with life's necessities. Jesus called this safe haven providence because its purpose is to provide. And we can move closer to this practice. We can deliberately refrain from worrying. We can remember all the times that our needs and wants were met, sometimes miraculously. We can release old opinions and knowingness and make room for something new to show up. Jesus asked Mark, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world if he loses his soul? So ask yourself, where does your good come from? How do you measure success? What life experiences are the richest and bring the most love and personal growth? In these times of seeming economic insecurity, we are called to question the things that we thought brought us security, like owning a home, having a retirement fund, a good job, college funds for the kids, living the American dream clear down to the white picket fence, 2 cars in the garage, and a chicken in every pot. Yet challenging times bring out the best in people. Challenging times bring out our creativity and our generosity, help us redefine ourselves and make us loosen our grip on our definition of the world. We went through challenging times in my family right after World War II, which is when I was born, right after the war. My mother was the youngest of 5 girls. And when the war ended, all the soldiers came home, all the girls got married, and they all started having babies. There was a housing shortage. And there was nowhere for these families to live. We all lived in Grandma's house. There were 14 people living in Grandma's house. Each little family had 1 bedroom. My mom, my dad, me, and my brother had 1 bedroom. One of my aunts and her husband moved to the garage with their son. They converted it into a little house. And when they finally left, they had to build a house to move into. We got to move to the garage, and that was moving on up, baby. But this was a time that was a rich, multi-generational experience. Challenging times can bring the greatest growth and bring out the best in people. We can get too rigid in the way that we define success. And we don't know that the way we define success is also the way we define life. And that this definition is totally optional. Where does your good come from? What is your source? Can God ever crash and lose value on Wall Street? Jesus also said You must be born from above. To renew yourself, die to the old every day. Being born from above means a rebirth in spirit. And spiritual rebirth is usually a process rather than a blinding epiphany that causes one's life to change from that moment forward. So you begin by looking at the ways you define yourself, your gender, your nationality, your occupation, your social class, your astrological sign, and you practice releasing these labels and the restrictions that they bring. They are things of this world, and this world is an illusion. So long as you remain attached to this image of yourself, you remain attached to the illusion. A Course in Miracles states that when we are determined to see that nothing in our outer experience has any meaning, a door will open behind the world that we see and show us another reality, one that is truer and lighter and more peaceful. When God consciousness dawns, a complex series of changes occur. There is no longer a battle between good and evil. Fear is really revealed as an illusion. You identify with God. Your thoughts and desires have a divine source. You feel that the world is yours as a co-creator with God. The world out there responds immediately to the world in here. In other words, outward reality mirrors the self, and love is realized as the supreme force in the universe. So in birthing the Christ within and coming into the awareness that that is who we are, we consider this passage from 2 Corinthians. But we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are transformed into the same image from glory to glory, even as from the Lord to the Spirit. So this Christmas, live the true story of the season. Look within and seek the eternal glory of the Lord shining forth from your heart to bless the world. And thus ends today's lesson. God bless you. We're going to ask Sky to sing another song for us.
Releasing fear as an illusion. Love that. Is it coming through okay? There is nothing to be afraid of. It's all in your mind. There is nothing to be afraid of. We're gonna make it through this time. It is only your reflection. It scares you every day, and it's time to become like children. Rediscover how to play. Gotta claim my life. It's never too late. The future and past are a different fate. But in my heart, the vision's clear. Stand up now, release the fear. Gotta stand up now, release the fear. was shown when just a baby. People could be cruel, and I learned that to be successful, I was gonna have to suffer too. Somehow no one seemed to realize it's love that survives. And in the process of education, I forgot I was alive. Gotta claim my life. It's never too late. The future and past are a different fate. But in my heart, the vision's clear. Stand up now, release the fear. Gotta stand up now, release the fear. Gotta claim my life, it's never too late. The future and past are a different fate. But in my heart, the vision's clear. Gotta stand up now, release the fear. Gotta stand up now, release the fear. Got to stand up now, release the fear.
Thank you, Sky. Wonderful song. Now, did you write either your solos today?
I wrote both of those, yeah.
I suspected as much. Good job. So
That
many.
second song was from the movie Monsters, Inc. I got inspired when I saw that movie. It's about these monsters that scare people and get power from it. And they learn how to change it to laughter. They start being comedians and making people laugh and have joy. And so much power comes from that.
And so, was that song in the movie, or did you write it about
No,
the?
I wrote it after I watched the movie.
Oh,
I was
excellent.
inspired.
I have to watch it. Thank you. All right, my dears, we're going to bring up PowerPoint again and talk about our love offering. We know that each of you is a vital part of this spiritual community, and we thank you because it is through your support that we are able to provide our services. We know when we meet in person, we take an offering and pass the bag, but when we're on Zoom, we make sure you have the information like our post office box and know that you can donate using the button in our newsletter or on our website. Unity teaches that giving is a wonderful spiritual practice and a powerful way to demonstrate our prosperity. We trust our gifts will leave a legacy of love and that will return to us in unexpected way. So we are grateful to be in the flow of circulation as we share our gifts with the world and with each other as a way to bless those who depend on this spiritual community for so many things. So now, as we hold our love offerings in our hearts, we bless them with Unity's prosperity prayer. We say together, divine love flowing through me now, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I choose to give, and all that I am open to receive. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
So we have a few announcements this morning. Matter of fact, I'm so excited. I just am about so many things that I'm showing you right here on this slide. The first, Operation Holiday Cheer, was our Christmas outreach this year when we collected money and gave it to the Citrus Heights Police Department because their program included having the policemen take the kids shopping for toys, and people were able to nominate families that could benefit by some extra help this year. They asked primarily for Target gift cards because Target volunteered to be a partner with them in this outreach and was going to give them a discount on anything they bought with a Target gift card. Well, Lisa and I went to the police department on Thursday to deliver 19 $10 gift cards and a $50 check. And they were just thrilled. I mean, you could just see that it had touched them. They considered it generous, and so glad that we remember them as we have remembered them for several years now. I guess, it's the way of Christmas, the holiday cheer. Who got the cheer? We got the cheer. That's what happens with giving and receiving. Next week, we're going to meet at Sylvan Community Center and decorate it within an inch of its life. The angels will be back. It is our Christmas candle service, candle lighting service, and we are expert at battery candles now. All these behind me these are battery candles, and I've got a collection of little individual ones. So we'll have a candle lighting service, and we decided to do a cantata. I love that word, cantata. It sounds so fancy, and what it means is that I'm going to read a little scripture and then Lisa's going to play some music. Then I'll read some more scripture and then she'll play some more music. But you put together the Christmas song and the carols and the hymns so that everybody really knows what the Christmas story is and celebrates it in this traditional way. And so we invite you to attend service next Sunday morning. And when it's over, we are going to be like church mice scurrying over to the home of Bill and Mariana Graff, which is about 6 blocks from the church, for our Christmas party. And there are several things that we wanted to share with you about the Christmas party. We are going to have a gift exchange. We've asked that they be either handmade or secondhand gifts. We don't want anybody to be stressed about spending money, and we have so many artistic people in the congregation. So you should bring one wrapped gift for the gift exchange. And we're going to put up a giveaway table. This, in the Native American tradition, this is called a potlatch. And on that table is separate from the gift exchange. Bring things to just give away. They could be books, it could be jewelry, they could be anything that you're ready to release. And then you take other people's stuff home with you. And we used to do this before the pandemic. We had a monthly potluck Sunday. It's one of the things we miss. And we thought, well, maybe we can't start it monthly yet, but we can do it at the Christmas party, and in the spirit of giving and receiving for Christmas, it would be a wonderful addition. We will have a potluck. We've got a ham and the major side dishes people have signed up for: salad and veggies and a cake. But if you're coming, please do bring something to share at the potluck as well. I'm going to ask Lisa if she's willing to share about 2 things. And well, I have to wait. I'm going to go through the 25th yet. No, I want to start now. Never mind. One thing is the youth that will be at the party, because we've started reaching out to the youth, primarily young teenagers, to form a youth group. And I believe that several of them will be at the party, and then they're going to go on to an activity of their own. Lisa, can you share about that?
Sure. Um, So YOU, Youth of Unity, has been a big part of my husband's and my boys' spiritual journey. And we believe in it so much that we're so excited that we have a few teenagers who are, kids of people in our congregation, and that we're starting a Youth of Unity. So with Mariana's help, we have 5 boys who got together with us a few weeks ago, did their own little thing, 4 boys, 5. And so we're going to meet monthly. And the next thing they're going to do after our party is, I think they're going to go to an escape room. So some of these kids are 13, and my son Cameron is 17. Sorry, Liam. Cameron's 21. He's out of the picture. So Liam has been a regional representative. And so he's able to, the tradition of Youth of Unity is that the older kids teach and lead the younger kids. So we're continuing that and would love to see others join this group. We're setting dates as it works for the kids rather than Sunday mornings. So if you know anyone who would be interested, this is ages 13 all the way through, I think 18, or yeah, it's like through high school. So yeah. Does that cover it? Yeah.
Thank you. I'll get back to you in a minute. Then on Christmas Sunday, we're going to be on Zoom and we're going to have a pajama party. We decided, first of all, that almost everybody has somewhere to go on Christmas Sunday, and Zoom is good. Zoom makes it easy. Coming in your pajamas makes it even easier. So we're going to have a lighthearted service and invite you to bring your cocoa to share, and it'll be at 10 o'clock as usual. Then on New Year's Day, Sunday, I'm going to give this back to Lisa. It's our burning bowl service, but it's going to be a unique twist on that.
We had an interesting something synchronous that brought up this solution. We were not able to get the Sylvan Community Center on the 1st, and we really wanted to do our burning bowl live. So I had the inspiration that, I live out in the country, and we often have done an open house on New Year's Day. So I thought, well, why not invite the church to join us? And we'll have a burning bowl at 12:30 with the ceremony. We'll do some chanting. We'll have a chance to do some meditating and write out, what we want to release. You could even bring stuff to release because it's actually going to be a bonfire. Bring your chairs. We do have chairs, but you may be more comfortable in your own. And then we will also have a 10 o'clock service. It may be a little bit shorter than usual, so that those of you who are not able to come to out in the country to my house can still do the burning bowl in a fashion with us. So there's a sign up online. We do ask that you sign up, partly because we will be having carpools. I live about 45 minutes from Citrus Heights on a good traffic day.
Right. And so we will have carpools, and it's just going to be great fun. I'm looking forward to it. Then, as always, when we meet at Zoom, and even when we meet in person, we have a stay and chat after the service. So we do invite everybody who's here on Zoom to stay. We'll turn off the recording and shut down Facebook Live, and it'll be just us chickens, and we'll have a check-in to see how everybody's doing. So now I'm going to ask Sky to lead us in singing our closing songs.
Wonderful. Weave. That's the wrong key, isn't it? Let's do it here. Weave us together. weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together in unity, and let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now for our prayer for protection. We know that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful week.
All is well. Amen.
And Sky, you want to do a little postlude for us?
We got a good thing going on around here. We got a good thing going on around here. See it in each and every face, the sweet, sweet spirit in this place. We got a good thing going on around here. I see it in each and every face, sweet, sweet spirit in this place. We got a good thing going on around here.